Hello guys, welcome back to the I think 14th episode of the Grow Garden series. In today's episode we will be finishing the selling, since in the last episode we finished the server logic. So today we will be making the actual client logic, so stay tuned. And yeah, if you like what I do, if you want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, and maybe also write a comment. It would mean a lot to me, and it also would also help me a lot. Okay, so now let's continue with the video. So last episode, I can quickly tell you, we did the whole event for the not the restore, but the buy seed event here. No, not the buy seed. The sell thing somewhere. Plant manager maybe. Do I even have the updated version? Of course not, as always. Okay, now I do. So yeah, we did this in the last episode. Don't mind the player Leah says erroring. It's nothing wrong. But yeah, we did a sell request last episode, and yeah, now we will actually be making the stuff. So let's start with the client stuff. So what we want to do is we want to go to our sell folder. We want to add a part, and we want to call that part prox. And once you have this name prox, I want to add a proximity prompt in there. I want someone to move the part that we can easily access it. You also want to make sure it has cancel light off and anchored on. Now you can make the size like 1, it doesn't matter. But just add a proximity prompt in there and also add a script in there. And yeah, the script we're just gonna do well, also let's make the UI first. So we want to have a billboard UI. So I'm just going to show you what mine looks like. I'm just going to put it inside this part for a second. So this is what my UI looks like when I enable it. This is like how mine looks. So it's pretty easy. We have the cell billboard UI. It has D size 8060 and the start offset of 5 and 2. And then we have a frame, which is just 0.92 and 1 on the size, and 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 on the anchor point in position. Then we have a UI grid layout with this padding of 0.5 and 0.5 and the cell size of 1 and 0.2. And we have 5 buttons, text buttons, which are just added in there. And we have inventory, and never mind this and WAV. And then each one we have a UI gradient, which is the background thing you can see. And we have a number called num. Yeah, these are my settings here if you want to copy them for everything. And then we have the option, which is just the text. Okay, so once we have this, you can just copy how I did it or design your own thing. Just make sure you have the names the same. Okay, once we have this, we want to disable this. And we want to go back to the starter UI. Let me enable my UI. Also, let me disable the shop visibility by default. Oh yeah, we have our cell just in here now. So yeah, now let's go to remote events and make a new remote event, and it's called this show cell UI. And in this proximity prompt, which we just did inside this part, what we want to do is we want to do a local remote. It's going to be equal to replicate storage. And we want to do .remote events .show cell UI. Then script.parent and then yeah, script.parent .proximity prompt .triggered connect function player. And we want to do replicate storage The remote events dot conversation. Oh, we don't even have it. Also make a conversations event. So duplicate this and call this conversation. Do conversation, fire clients, and do player. Script.parent.parent.holder. And then the text. You got anything to sell? Question mark. And yeah, that's gonna be our text. We are gonna make the conversation part very soon. Okay, then we want to do task awaits 1. And then we want to do remote fire clients to fire the player and the player dot character dot humanoid root part. One second. Okay, so once we have this, we want to actually write the client side. So for the show cell UI, we want to go ahead and make a script in our startup player scripts. Just make a local script, move it into startup player scripts, and then call this the billboard cloner. We want to go inside of the script, and we want to do a local player is equal to players.local player. Then the local remote again is going to be equal to record storage or remote events. So we missed this here. Remote events, and then wait for child show cell UI. And then what we want to do is remote dot on client events connect function, and we connect the target part. Then we want to do local cell UI. It's going to be equal to player.playerGUI.cell. Cell UI.adorny is going to be equal to target part, and cell UI.enabled is going to be equal to true. Once we have this, we can just close this off since we don't need it anymore. And yeah. What did we do? Oh, we renamed the wrong script. So this was supposed to be the billboard cloner. Okay, so the billboard cloner it is. And now we have everything set up correctly. So now for the conversation events, what we want to do is we want to go to our client script and then find the conversation event. So let's do local conversation event. Then we equal to record storage, web child remote event, web child conversation. So you want to make sure that in your holder here you have the UI I discussed in the last episode in the human root pod called conversation with the frame inside and the text. You can design this however you want. You just want to make sure that you have this. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and do just down here somewhere we can do conversation events on client event connect function, connect dummy and message. Then we do if active display. Oh yeah, we have to make a variable for this. Let's go all the way up. Do local active display. Go down. If active display, then active display dot abort is equal to true. Oh yeah, we also set active display to nil. Like this. Now warning also disappears. And then local display states. It's going to be equal to a table. We do a board is equal to false. Then active display is going to be equal to display states. Then we do task.spawn, which one function, and we do local HRP. It's going to be equal to dummy, and then find first child humanoids roots parts. If not HRP, then return ends. Local conversation is going to be equal to HRP, and then find first child, and we want to find a conversation. If not conv, then return end. Local frame is going to be equal to conv.frame, and local text label is going to be equal to frame.text. Frame.visible is going to be equal to true, and text label.text is going to be equal to nothing. They want to type the full message, so local speeds is going to be equal to 0.035. I think it's a good value. For I is equal to 1 and comma hashtag message do. If display states dot abort, then we want to return. So if we are aborting, we don't want to do anything anymore. Since it's a loop, and then text label dot text, it's gonna be equal to text label dot text, and then message colon sub I, and then sound service. I want to play local sound. I'm just gonna play a sound. So I'm just gonna import my sound effects folder. You can of course play any sound you want. So I'm gonna just import my sound in here, and then I'm gonna play storage.sfx.tick, and then I'm gonna do task await tick speeds. Speeds only. Yeah, speeds. Okay, then we want to do task await 1. If not display state dot abort, then frame dot visible is equal to false, and text label dot text is equal to nothing again. And yeah, then yeah, this comma is not needed. Okay, then we can actually start with our cell events. On the client, or cell request, I should say. So yeah, we also do this on the client. So let's go all the way up, and let's get our cell request. So we just copy this again, we paste it, we do cell request, copy it, we paste it here, and now we can start. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to do a bit of stuff. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get some things. So we want to do below the player is just fine. I'm gonna do local cell UI, or I'm just gonna do local GUI. It's gonna equal to player GUI. Then local cell UI is going to be equal to GUI web child cell, and local cell frame is going to be equal to cell UI dot frame. Once we got this, we can now go down all the way pretty much. Red buffer, we did our conversation event, and then do a local tween info. It's going to be equal to tween info dot new 0.5 seconds. Just gonna do then for underscore button in I pairs self frame get children do if button is a then you want to do which type of button you did. If you did an image button, then put image button. Then local option is going to be equal to button web child option, which is the text label. Local orange position is going to be option dot position. Then button dot mouse enter. I'm going to connect the function. I'm going to do tween service. Create option tween info and position. It's going to be original position plus student2.new 0.20.0.0. I'm going to play this. Then on the leaf button.mouse leaf, I'm going to connect a function and I'm going to do tween service create for the option the tween info and position. It's going to be equal to original position. And then we just play this too. Then on the mouse click, so we want to do button dot mouse button one click connect function. Now this is going to be a bit longer. It's going to be okay. We're just going to do if button dot name is equal to never mind. Then cell UI dot enable is going to be false, and cell UI dot adorn me is going to be equal to nil. Else if button dot name is equal to this, or button dot name is going to be equal to worth. Then local tool is going to be equal to player dot character, and player dot character find first child, which is a tool, and then if tool, then cell request fire server button dot name tool dot name, and then we're going to do cell UI. We're just going to do the same thing, and then else we're just going to do cell request fire server button dot name, which is going to be for the inventory. So now we can try this out. So let's go ahead play, and let's see if this works. So now when we go back to our cell, you see the proximity from shows. It tells us you got anything to sell. This shows up and we can hover over it. And I'm going to do never mind, and it does nothing. I'm going to do I want to sell my inventory. It's going to do nothing. And yeah, if I just harvest the tree, so if I harvest this, I got this in my hand and I'm going to press what is this worth? Okay, we got an error. Okay, on number and nil. Multiplication on number and nil. Okay, we did a double thing there. Okay, so we're gonna get this fixed, but first of all, yeah, actually let's get this fixed right away. So on our plant server, we have the sell event. Once we have it, it's gonna be in the worth section. So let's check if we did everything correct. So I'm just gonna format it like this, so it's a bit easier to see. So get worth is math.floor info.weight times staff.price per kilogram, correct, times, and bracket modifier definitions info.modifier and modifier definitions info. Oh yeah, we missed an I there, and that was the whole problem. Okay, so also we can do the conversations now. So once we go up and we want to get our conversation event, so let's copy, do conversation, copy and paste, go all the way down, and now we're gonna do this in the at the bottom. Actually, we're just gonna do it in the WAF. So we're gonna do conversation, fire client. We're gonna fire the player. We're gonna fire the holder, and we're gonna fire I'm just gonna fire this. And then yeah, why is it complaining? Oh yeah, like this. Because we just fire this. So I'm just gonna clone this. Then in the payouts here, we can just copy. I'm just gonna do this. You could just copy what I wrote. And then I'm just gonna copy this again. And up here in the it's the inventory section. I'm gonna put this here. You can just copy it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we can play. Let's check if this actually works. So let's harvest a tree. Let's wait for our inventory to load. So we got this. So now let's go ahead and ask for how much is this worth. And it's still gonna tell us it's gonna be nil. Modifier price multiplier or 1. What's the problem here? Okay, let's just go through that bit by bit. Okay, so let's format this a bit otherwise. Let's do format like this and like this. Okay, so we have where physical amount of the floor input of weight times the after price per kilogram times bracket modified definitions input of modifier bracket closed and modified definitions input of modifier dot price multiplier or 1. But it should be good. Oh yeah, we have the price per kilogram not unchecked. Make sure in the plant definitions you have the price per kilogram unchecked so it works. So you add a price per kilogram thing in every definition you have. Okay, I was quite confused there. Let's try this out now. So we got something in our inventory. We go up to this guy and we ask for WAF. It's gonna tell us this is 34 pennies worth. If we sell this, it tells us we sold it for 34 pennies and we got 34 pennies. Now when we go ahead and we just harvest like 2, let's see, we have 2, and then when we're gonna do I want some inventory, you sold for 77 pennies, I got 77 pennies, and I only got my axe left. Okay, so this is gonna be the selling. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.